Kiedy pojawił się po pobycie w Emiratach, w uwięzieniu, właściwie przechodził wszystkie te etapy, nie wiem jak to powiedzieć.
I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. I thought this is our Artur. What's going on?
He was very brave to call us from prison. I've never had a call before from the Emirates from prison because it's a difficult thing to do.
I had to go to the hospital for after rape, proctological, urological operations. I lost everything in my life. What I am grateful is that I proved to myself that nothing will kill me at all in my life. I'm strong enough and I'm showing you the finger, the middle finger right now.
Proszę o rozpowszechnienie apelu na rzecz mojego uwolnienia na całym świecie. Stawką jest moje zdrowie i życie. Zależy mi, aby o sytuacji dowiedział się prezydent Polski Andrzej Duda, prezydent Unii Europejskiej Donald Tusk oraz papież Franciszek. Stacje telewizyjne, radiowe, portale internetowe, organizacje praw człowieka na całym świecie.
When a prince falls in love, it's usually the beginning of a fairy tale. However, when the prince is a member of an Emirati royal family, the fairy tale can turn into a nightmare. The fairy tale can turn into a nightmare.
I've been one of the guys who promote the professional fitness business in this country. So I've been studying fitness management in United States, in Atlanta. And when I came back to Poland, I decided to open the advising company for investors. And we were building the fitness centers in Poland and also in Latvia. So it went very well. And I earned money to make my own fitness centers. I was very successful from money side, but completely fucked up as a person.
He is a businessman. He developed a very big company, and his work forced him to travel around the world. So the thing he was traveling is something, I would say, very normal.
But when I saw that situation with my mom is completely not good, my mother got very, very difficult cancer to be treated. So it was the time when I decided just stop everything. Of course, I could not because a lot of people, a lot of obligations, a lot of businesses to be done. So I started to sniff cocaine. And my doctors told, you need to leave the country, you need to change the society because you will die soon yourself. I've been studying with one guy from Israel in Atlanta. And that guy, his name is Elliot, he had a friends in Emirates. And they told, we have very nice job there, it's beautiful sun non-stop, amazing weather, you go there, you earn money, you make money for your credits, for your debts here, because I had a lot of debt. And I went to Emirates, and first 6 months I was very successful there because I was creating the fitness projects for one of the Abu Dhabi Sheikh Son company. And at the same time I was the personal trainer. On the one party, Egyptian and Syrian guys from my company introduced me to one person. And that person was the son of the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi. The person who is having the biggest power in that country. Till now, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan.
The United Arab Emirates is a monarchy ruled by Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and the royal family. They are one of the most powerful and rich families in the world, having business connections in almost every country.
So I was the personal trainer of one of his sons, and also I was doing the fitness project for one of his company in Abu Dhabi. And I didn't recognize that guy fallen in love with me. I was not interested in any relations. So it was very simple plan. 2 years contract, I make money, I treat myself very well, and I come to Poland, I give money back to the people, and I make new business. We were partying a lot there with the guy. I gave him nick Angel. We went once to Burj Khalifa in Dubai for party, one of very, let's say, big persona party in Dubai. And there was like 100 people. And what was shocking me was the situation when between the guys, small like 10, 11 years old girls were serving cocaine on the like silver, steel plates. And I left in 1 minute. I told it's not normal for me, and I don't accept such a behavior, and this is something which I cannot understand. You can have sex with whom you want, but don't mix this with the kids. So I left, and I told him by SMS that I don't want any more relation with you, any relation, because I think we are from completely different worlds. I started to go back from our friendship. I didn't want to see him, I didn't want to talk to him, but at the same time I had to work for his company, so it was quite difficult. And I recognized that he started to follow me. For example, when I was leaving the office, he was waiting in his car, and he wanted me to make him training, his personal training. So it was very difficult for me, and I decided to leave. I got offer from London to run the fitness projects next to Covent Garden. And on his birthday in April 2017, I said, okay, I got the offer, I'm leaving for 3 months. And he told that he will not allow me to leave the country because either he will put me to the jail or he will kill me.
That was a turning point in Artur's life. He knew he was not in his own country, and things worked differently in the Emirates. He realized that he's not just the prince's personal trainer.
I'm too important person for him, and he's not able even to exist without me. I remember I showed this message to my Polish girlfriend. She was living in Dubai. She still lives in Dubai. And she said, he's crazy, you need to do something.
After the prince's threats, Artur felt he had to leave the Emirates immediately.
April 30th, 2017, I was planning to take the flight. I gave my bag at the airport, and because I was the resident in Dubai, so I could, check in through some self-check-in kiosk. And when I put my passport to this machine, they blocked me. It was like strange, signal somewhere in this air, and crazy red lights. The immigration officer came to me, and he told that he's inviting me to his office. They checked the last name, and they told that in the system they have written that I need to go back home and think about my behavior. And I had never such a situation. I thought, okay, maybe there is some crazy reality show, recording here or so. He told, no, I don't want to discuss with you even. You have to go back home and think about your behavior. But you cannot take your bag within 2 next days. So I called my girlfriend, she came to the airport, and we went to fitness center. I said, I need to, just remove the stress because it's crazy. It's like, Andy Warhol movie or so. And we had the training, and on the way back home, she went up to the flat, and I said, okay, I need to buy the water. And in the front of the building, 19 CID guys, drugs police in Emirates, they put me on the ground, and they just put the handcuffs, and they told, okay, we go.
Artur was arrested the same day. The drug laws are very strict in the Emirates, and punishments are severe, including death penalty for drug trafficking.
So they took the urine, they took my hairs, they took also my blood, and they took, in 3 weeks we're gonna have results, so you stay in arrest. And after 3 weeks, the prosecutor, Mr. Hamadi, who had his feet on the table when he talked to me, he talked, yeah, you are clean, but I don't have rights to let you go back home. You need to stay in the prison. And the same day they took me to Dubai Central Prison for 5 months. I was waiting there for nothing. They did not allow me to go to hospital in Dubai Central Jail because they thought that I am not prisoner, that somebody booked the place for me and I need to just wait. And when the prince finally visited me in the jail, he came with a bodyguard in the glasses. I could see that he's high and he sits like this and he was watching me. And I asked him a question, what is the next step? You keep me here as you told. You will not allow me to leave the country. But what is the next step? And he always was repeating, Habibi Hayati, no worry, everything will be okay. This is his fucking words I will remember till my death, you know? So he visited me first time, second time, third time. On the third meeting, I didn't even speak to him because I didn't see any reasons. I saw that this guy is psychopath, that there is something wrong with him. Because as worse I looked, he had bigger satisfaction. And he just told me once that for him, this is real Arabic love. I asked him question, what means this for you? He told, you are only for me.
Artur realized he was dealing with someone with serious mental problems. The prince had him as his own private prisoner. It seemed like there was no way out.
In the end of the September 2017, I started to hunger strike. I said I will not eat anything because I don't understand situation. People are coming to the jail, people are having the sentences, people are having court. Nothing with me is happening. I'm just sitting here with no rights to have even the medicine and the doctor. So I requested the meeting with the manager of the prison. He came and he told me, you are not the prisoner. We are just keeping you here because we got the order. That's it. So I said, okay, so I'm not eating anything. And the next day from this meeting, they called me and they told Artur Ligęska Bolendi, they gave me back my passport and they took, you are free. They told, you are free, we need to bring you to the airport because of the deportation.
So a hunger strike seemed like a good idea, as it put pressure on the authorities to release him and send him back to Poland. But the prince had a different opinion.
So really, in the 15 minutes, I saw the planes at Dubai International Airport. And I said, what the fuck is going on here? And in the end of this, they make like the circles around Dubai Airport and they transfer me to the hell. Because that place in the middle of Al-Sadr desert was just crazy. They remove all clothes from me. They ask me to do terrible things. They shout, and they gave me one blanket and they put me to the isolation cell 32.
Artur thought that his hell had ended after he left Al-Awir prison. He couldn't have been more wrong. He was about to find out what real hell was.
And I spent there 8 months. They transferred me to Abu Dhabi jail October 1st. October 29th, I had a birthday. So this crazy motherfucker came to my cell with a Starbucks 2 coffees and birthday cake. And he told me sentence, you remember I told you when we were celebrating my birthday, his birthday, that we are going to be together on your birthday too. 2 days before they got arrested me, he sent me the movie. He's driving his Bentley and there is written Art, I love you and beautiful songs, you know. Even when they sentenced me to life in the prison in isolation with no evidence, he sent me 3 roses to isolation cell. And it was the last time when I had any contact with him during my stay in Emirates. I was sentenced to life in the prison in isolation after one court hearing. It took like 3, 4, 5 minutes. Prosecutor told, you are abused for having, possessing, using and selling of methamphetamine. So I asked him, okay, I don't know what methamphetamine is. I had experience with the cocaine, but not methamphetamine and not in Emirates. So my lawyer told, but police document says there is nothing against him. And my lawyer asked the court to cancel all this, case. So court told, okay, I'm gonna give the sentence in the 3 weeks from now. We came to the court again after 3 weeks. They kept me 8 hours in the basement. I had a steel metal here chain on my feet and also handcuffs. And the lift has been broken, out of service, so I had to walk 500 stairs to the federal court. When I passed like 100, the blood was already here, but I said to myself, okay, Jesus Christ survived, I'm gonna survive as well. The judge didn't say, on behalf of Emirates, we are sentencing you for this and this according to the paragraph or article of whatever. The judge told like this, Artur Poland, life sentence in isolation, halas.
Artur wasn't naive. He understood that it wasn't about the drugs, that all of this was being steered and manipulated by the prince. Artur had 2 options, to die or to survive, but he wanted to survive. So he decided to find a way to send his voice out of jail.
Once during the weekend, I recognized that there is one new officer on the duty. So I asked him if he can allow me to make the call, because I'm here, they treat me like a piece of shit, I'm losing weight, I don't have medicine, I don't have contact with embassy at the time, nothing. So he told that I need to do something for him, and he will allow me to make 2 minutes call.
When you want to survive, you do whatever is necessary, no matter what. That's basic human instinct. And for this reason, Artur had to perform sexual services for the officer.
So I did what he wanted from me, and they took me to the phone, and I recorded the media appeal, like information that helped me, because I don't know what is going on here.
Proszę o rozpowszechnienie apelu na rzecz mojego uwolnienia na całym świecie. Stawką jest moje zdrowie i życie. Zależy mi, aby o sytuacji dowiedział się prezydent Polski Andrzej Duda, prezydent Unii Europejskiej Donald Tusk oraz papież Franciszek. Stacje telewizyjne, radiowe, portale internetowe, organizacje praw człowieka na całym świecie.
And my friend from Dubai transferred this recording to Polish media, and the process has been started that time.
The recorded information was given to the media, and they started to write about Artur's case. They said he came to Dubai in May 2017 and was arrested in April 2018. According to the police, he was arrested for drugs, but tests which were done didn't prove Ligęska was guilty. Despite that, he was in Al-Sadr prison, and on the 3rd of January, he was charged with using and possessing methamphetamines. No evidence was shown during the trial. Still, the court in the Emirates sentenced Artur Ligęska to life in prison.
Europarlament helped me a lot with Polish Euro deputies. Also, a lot of institutions, they started to attack, the Emirates like crazy. when they sentenced me to life sentence, I recorded again the information that please help me.
3 stycznia zostałem wezwany przez sąd federalny w Abu Dhabi, by usłyszeć z ust prokuratury zarzut w związku z narkotykami. Chodzi o posiadanie i używanie metamfetaminy. Oskarżenie nie wskazało żadnych dowodów, żadnej ewidencji, nie powołano też żadnych świadków ku temu. Obrona w oparciu o dokumenty policji potwierdziła brak narkotyków zarówno w moim organizmie, jak przy mnie. Jednocześnie wskazując na niejasności w śledztwie, zwróciła się do sądu o odrzucenie wniosku w całości. Sąd po trwającej około 10 minut sesji rozprawę zamknął i ogłosił wyrok 28 stycznia. Wszedłem na salę pełen optymizmu, pomyślałem, że za chwileczkę będę wolny. No niestety, po 5 sekundach usłyszałem tylko i wyłącznie dosłownie 2 słowa od sędziego. Artur, dożywocie.
Embassy was involved very much in all this situation. They were visiting me like every week. So even we didn't meet in regular embassy room, just in the manager office. And manager of the prison in Al Sadr in Abu Dhabi, he recognized what is going on with me. He told to us there is nothing against him in the papers. And he told if the appeal will not be successful for me, they will try to help me somehow. Time was passing and they see what the fuck is going on in this case. There is no movement, there is no provement, there is nothing.
Artur's case started to become famous, not only in Poland. It became a topic of discussion in Brussels, thanks to Elżbieta Łukacijewska, a member of the European Parliament. Also, in February 2019, during a conference about peace and security in the Middle East, the Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs talked directly about Artur's case in a conversation with his Emirati equivalent. This brought international pressure on the Emirates. The situation started to be uncomfortable and problematic for the Emirati authorities. The prince probably never expected that Artur would be able to bring this kind of attention.
The manager of the prison opened my isolation and he told that I am free. I start to shout. I said, why are you joking from me? Why you are laughing about me, you know? It was like I could not even believe that such a situation is happening. Because, you know, after 8 months, I didn't see sun, I didn't see air, I didn't see any people. Only embassy, once per week, 15 minutes. They completely, blocked me from everything.
Artur went to the Emirates on October 24th, 2017. He was imprisoned on April 30th, 2018, and released on May 9th, 2019. He came back to Poland on May 14th, 2019.
I had to suffer terrible situations. I saw death. I was raped by the officers. I felt hungry as fuck. I never felt hungry as I felt in the prison. I saw really torture. I saw the people kept in isolation cells with no food, with no water. They treat them like the piece of shit. I saw also the death. They say officially that in Emirates there is no death penalty. There is death penalty. French-Egyptian guy has been shot. They thought that he's like some kind of, terrorism connected person. But that guy did not speak Arabic, did not speak English. He was shouting behind the wall because our isolation cells were dividing by 11 meters up. He asked me in French, I know you are Polish, do you speak French? I speak a little bit French because I had the French in high school. And he told me he doesn't understand what the fuck is going on here. They were visiting him every fucking day, crushing his penis, his male organs, because they told that he's liar and he doesn't speak Arabic. He's Egyptian Omar, not French, Jean-Franc Véro, as he used to speak. And I could understand his situation because they did not allow him to speak to the embassy. They did not allow him to even get translator, interpreter to explain his word. He was not idiot. He was not, sadomasochism guy to allow to be treated like an animal, 3 months, handcuffs like this, behind. When they were giving him food, he had to eat from the floor. And they were laughing. I see there is a lot of British guys, British people in the prisons, and government is doing nothing because they are afraid to make the diplomatic relation worse.
Matthew Hedges, who was detained in the Emirates, accuses his own country, Great Britain, of putting trade before its own citizens. He says he was held for 7 months in horrific conditions, but didn't receive enough support from the British Foreign Office. There are other Britons in Emirati jails facing the same lack of interest. Is it connected with the fact that Emirati business is very strong in the UK?
So on that weekend, that was the second or third time I had suicidal thoughts, because I was expecting to, go to jail and we'll try and find a way through this, but instead I was back in the same cell.
And when you say you had suicidal thoughts, what exactly did you mean?
So that last time I was having quite bad panic attacks, and I felt I was choking. I couldn't breathe, and in that night I dreamt that I was hanging myself in the cell. That wasn't good.
Another example of false accusations is Andy Neal's case. This ex-soldier was held in Dubai, also over a drugs bust. He moved there with his wife and 2 kids in 2015. He had served the army for 24 years, and after that, he decided to run a dog training business. In October 2018, he was accused of drugs possession and arrested. He spent more than a year in a Dubai prison.
After being detained for the last 140 days, 4.5 months without charge, I would have thought that the Dubai prosecutors would have released me after all allegations of being involved in this case were removed and statements to that effect were signed. I just want to go home to the United Kingdom to be with family and friends. I want to thank everybody who is helping me and my family during this horrible time. I hope that the government in the United Kingdom can intervene and get me back to loved ones as soon as possible. Please.
Over the past 11 years, we've dealt with in excess of 10,000 cases of British nationals and foreign nationals being unfairly detained abroad in the UAE. On an average week, we probably get around 50 to 100 inquiries from people who are facing legal problems in the UAE.
There is a lot of people that are sitting and saying, we don't know why we are here, but we don't have any help. I told to the guys from isolation when I was leaving, I will remember you guys. There is one of the human rights activists, Ahmed Mansour. He's kept in isolation for 10 years because he was brave enough to say to the sheikh that in his country there is no any human rights. I had a chance to shout with Ahmed through the wall or through the door. And Ahmed Mansour is the person I was talking about a lot in one of the chapters of my book, because I promised him to make him free again. And he's kept in isolation because he cannot even talk to the other people about his ideology. When the officers were leaving isolation after 10 or 11 p.m., we used this, time for shouting, because it's like dogs and dogs in the small rooms, So to check if you are still okay here, you need to do something. So we were shouting through the walls or through the doors. Sometimes it works. Sometimes we could change, some kind of thoughts, and we could still realize that there is a live person, right? Very smart person. He got the Nobel Prize for Human Rights in 2015, and when he came from Geneva to Emirates, they put the ban travel on him, they took his passport, and halas! In Europe, they told you are brave, Thank you very much for fighting for human rights. And his country, his own sheikh, put him to the prison. Sometimes they took me to the phone. Instead of calling my family in Poland, I was calling his wife, Nadia. She's Moroccan, French woman living in Ajman in Emirates. And we were speaking French, just she wanted to know if he's still alive or not.
Despite Artur's horrible experiences in jail, he didn't forget his prison mates. He managed to send their voices out to the world by contacting human rights organizations and talking about them to the media.
He was very brave to call us from prison. I've never had a call before from the Emirates from prison because it's a difficult thing to do. But somehow he managed to get my phone number, which Ahmed had memorized after a couple of years in prison, and call me to let me know that Ahmed was on hunger strike. When I heard Artur's voice, I trusted him immediately. I believed him when he said we needed to help Ahmed, and I knew he was taking a big risk. But he called me anyway to try to help Ahmed, who I later came to know had become a good friend of his in prison and whom he thought of as a brother. They brought a lot of comfort to each other. And with that phone call, we got much needed news that we hadn't had before about Ahmed's condition. We found out that he'd had no bed, no running water, no access to a shower. He wasn't able to even leave his cell. He had only had a few family visits, and his conditions were really much worse than we thought, and that's why he was on hunger strike.
After his release, Ligęska started to fight for justice. He lost 13 months of life, money, and health.
On May 9th, I requested some kind of, documents. Based on what? I have no any papers. Nothing has been given to me and to embassy after life sentencing me, even when they make me free. I had no even number of prisoner. In general, the prisoners in Emirates are having ID like we do have ID in Poland, the plastic like credit cards, with a picture and number. I have nothing like this. What I think, and my lawyers used to think as well, it will be the official line of Emirates, in the front of the court. We don't know this guy, he never was our prisoner. Show me the number.
Artur was never officially incarcerated, as he didn't receive an inmate number, proving he's officially a prisoner. There was no legal basis for his imprisonment. He was more like the prince's guest in jail.
Ambassador behaves like not man. He didn't accept my letter. His assistant was calling me to say that, yes, we are very sorry, but you need to send this letter directly to Abu Dhabi. So I sent the direct letter to Abu Dhabi, and I got confirmation that office of Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed got this, but till now there is no answer. I'm still expecting the meeting, because I told in one of the Polish TV interview, this is not final of the story. Final of the story will be when I will sit and we're gonna discuss what has happened. I lost 8 months in my life sitting alone in 4 square meters cell, which is disaster. And it was not Congo in Africa. It was Emirates and it was country, they called themselves modern country, right? So this is just hypocrisy and that's it. They are just saying that embassy is not for this. So I want to talk to the person who is from this. Yes, that's it, very simple. I need these papers to Polish banks, to Polish courts. I had a lot of credits, I had a lot of, obligations, but till now I have nothing.
Ligęska had started to pay off his most urgent debts. He hoped to make things right with the people he owed money to in Poland. He made a deal with all his creditors, individuals, banks, and leasing companies, that he would start making payments to 2 women, Bożena and Monika. He was supposed to pay everything to them by the end of 2018. He managed to send the first part in March 2018, 1 month before being put in jail. Then, everything changed.
I lost everything in my life. I went to Emirates to earn money, to give debts in Poland. Right now I'm bankrupt. Last month I declared officially, by the permission of the economy court, the bankruptcy.
Byliśmy umówieni na kolejne rozmowy już bezpośrednio po przylocie pana Artura Ligęski do Polski. No i kiedy przyleciał, doszło do tego, że oczywiście wymieniliśmy się stosownymi dokumentami, rozpoczęliśmy przygotowania sprawy o upadłość.
Love should be amazing and positive, inspire you and give you butterflies in your stomach. You should feel energy to succeed in everything you do. Behave like characters in romantic movies. Excitement, good vibes, great feelings, and happiness. But there is also the dark side of love, which could be toxic and make you a victim. Sometimes love kills. Then you must ask yourself, why?
Why somebody allow to rape me, to make my life completely fucked up, and to keep me in such a situation so long? I will not allow anybody to say that this is the final, the finish. It's okay, you are free, halas. It's not halas anymore. And this is not fake news. This is real story. Because they are surprised that I'm still saying what is going on there and what has happened there. And I'm saying to each TV, I published the book because making the memory in the prison was the only way to keep me alive. I want justice, that's it. Really.
Człowiek, który był uwięziony przez tyle miesięcy w poczuciu bezradności, który nie mógł wpłynąć na tą sytuację, której doświadczał, po wyjściu ma chyba taką potrzebę, żeby wykrzyczeć całemu światu o tym, jak wielkiej krzywdy doświadczył. Myślę, że to jest głównym powodem tego, że pan Artur tak dużo mówi o swoim więzieniu. Z tego wynikają pewnie też takie potrzeby, żeby innym ludziom też pomóc.
I had to go to the hospital for after rape, proctological, urological operations. And actually my doctor says you cannot work till you will not get, healed and your health will be back on track. You cannot work at all. As my psychiatrist told, that person is a maniacal psycho.
Psychopaci pewnie.
So even he was not able to recognize properly what he did for me. He wanted to keep me for himself, and it's happened. So when I was sitting after this, life sentence information in my isolation, I said, okay, he proved that he has the power. He proved that he can do everything with me what he wants. And he proved that he doesn't want to kill me because he could make the death penalty for me and then alas. But he didn't. He did everything what he wanted, and probably it was the finish, the final step of his work. He proved that I am for him, and that's it, right? What I think is that guy, he didn't expect that I will be so strong. When I came back to Poland, I sent him WhatsApp message. Thank you very much for making my life hell. But what I am grateful is that I proved to myself that nothing will kill me at all in my life. I'm strong enough, and I'm showing you the finger, the middle finger right now.
Coming back to Poland wasn't the end of the story. Artur started to face mental problems. He went straight to the hospital. He spent 1 month in a military clinic with soldiers who had come back from wars and experienced horrible situations. He lost his teeth. His genitals were destroyed because of multiple rapes in prison. He had to undergo many painful surgeries as well as rehab and therapy. He had PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which was triggered by his stay in the prison. Artur's mental condition was very bad. In his mind, he tried to deal with the reality by erasing the worst memories. That's why he talks about 2017 instead of 2018 in the movie, as if 2018 didn't exist in his mind. This is common for victims of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. The prince's psychopathic behavior didn't end when Artur left the Emirates. He still sends him messages and tries to keep in touch, as if he doesn't understand what he did to Artur and how he destroyed his life. Psychopaths never see themselves as predators. They can kill, but they will always say it was the victim's fault. They have a very disturbing perception of the world. Nowadays, Artur's life in Poland is not easy. He faces problems finding a job. There is a lot of hate towards him, especially after releasing his book with memories from jail. Haters doubt his story. They don't believe he was in an Emirati jail, despite the evidence he showed. Recently, he is working on a construction site, doing physical labor, despite lack of permission from his doctors because of his health problems. He has been rejected by the fitness community. Nobody wants to hire him in his profession. Despite that, he hasn't given up. He has decided to change his life and has begun studying journalism and new media in university in Warsaw. He also fights for the human rights of those who are still in the Emirati prison. The film team is grateful to everyone who agreed to be interviewed. We received many refusals as people didn't want to be involved. They didn't say why. Are they afraid of Emirati revenge? Or are they not brave enough to face Artur's haters? Perhaps they have different opinions about Artur's account? It seems this story is not over yet in Poland. Not over yet in Poland.